Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the one and only, the human turret, one of the best ARs to ever do it. Give it up for the world champ himself, Sam LaRue, Octane. We got some of the best analysis in the game, the world champ himself, Christopher Duarte, Parasite. We got the multi-world champion, a legend, an icon to the Call of Duty scene. Give it up for Patrick Price. And of course, we got the executive producer live from the venue. Looks like he just had 5 drinks today. Give it up for Benji.
Why do you think I look drunk?
Nah, you were just slouching in your chair. It was funny. What's going on, Ben?
Yeah,
you all right?
Yeah,
I'm just busting your balls, Ben. I'm just busting your
balls. My balls. I know.
You know what I mean?
I know you're probably just retaliating because you had the ultimate one happen to you today on the analyst desk.
I've been getting cooked all day today, Ben. I've been getting cooked. I mean, there was fans in the crowd with 0 rings and shit and fucking breaking points, tweeting about it. Zinni wrote a fucking poem today and posted it on Twitter about how I have 0 rings. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, they're dragging me in the mud, Ben. Ben, you're not defending me, Ben. What's going on here?
I am defending it. The problem, Tom, is on the CDO gridlock. There's always a 0 rings category, and yeah, I'll admit I put you down those squares.
That's insane.
I'm sorry, bro. It's an easy answer. I'm sorry, bro.
How's the event, Ben? How's the event over there? Everything good over there?
The event was great. You know, it's an optic event. You know, they always do a banger. You know, shout Corey, Colby, Hector, everybody over there. It's been a vibe.
Yeah.
It's why, I mean, I actually think what was really good about this event is I think it looked great on broadcast. I think the stations where they face each other is really, really good. Creates a lot of content. The guys are really chirping. And so I hope at every event, and I know it's not always on the league, it's on the teams as far as stage design sometimes.
Yeah.
I hope they do this stage design with the LEDs because I think it looks really sick.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say too. Huge shout out to Optic, right? They stepped up. They hosted the major. You know, obviously the team Optic didn't do so well this event, so the crowd was kind of dead. But I mean, that's kind of understandable, right? Home team crowd, they're probably not going to cheer. It felt like the energy was kind of down in the crowd, but they threw an amazing event. Shout out to Optic, shout out to Corey. I mean, Optic's always stepping up, bro, in hosting events, and I would love to see some more teams host events. Hell, I'd love to see Atlanta FaZe throw an event because they haven't thrown one yet. So yeah, bro.
Not since the Atlanta FaZe homestand in Modern 2019.
Yeah, bro. I mean, shout out to Optic, shout out to all those guys for stepping up to the plate yet again and throwing another amazing event. They've been killing it, and Corey always does a great job. You know, Corey, we love Corey, Benji. Yeah. We love Corey. He's always fucking killing it. So shout out to the Optic boys for doing good work over there. But what about you, Pat? You doing good over there? I saw, Pat, you broke through the wall again, Pat? You broke through the wall?
Yeah, Tom. This is gonna be my background for a little bit. You know, letting you guys get an insight of the broken down wall. But no, I was just talking to the chat, Tom, because they brought up like L ads, and I'm curious, and I've always thought this. When people see an advertisement, do they also rage when like they're watching a TV show on a cable network and an ad comes on, like a 5-minute ad break?
Probably.
Do they rage during that, you think?
Probably, Slay. I rage when I see ads. You know?
Yeah.
But hey, ZooMAFIA members don't get ads though, Pat. They don't get ads. I don't know.
How do they become a member, Tom?
You just, you know, you can obviously use your free Twitch Prime. You know, if you got Amazon Prime, you can get it for free. But there should be a subscribe button down below, Slay. I think there's a subscribe button there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. What about you, Sam? Looking good over there.
Thanks, man. Having a great day, dude. Everything went exactly according to plan today. My alma mater with a finals appearance. I mean, today couldn't have gone better.
Yeah, Sam, your team played really well today. We're going to get to that.
Yes, they did.
What about you, Chris? What about you, Duarte? How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good, man. Unfortunately, the major was kind of a snooze. Lots of 3-0s, only 1 game 5. Kind of tragic, but you know, we still got the rest of the season to look forward to, so hopefully not too bad.
Yeah, I was coping hard because Atlanta FaZe was winning the grand final, trying to tell the chat that it wasn't a snooze. So, you know, I was obviously talking some shit, hard coping and shit, but it was pretty boring. Let's be fair. It wasn't close. I mean, it's just the series weren't close, and I actually thought the grand final was going to be way closer than what it was. We'll obviously get there, but after seeing the first matchup with FaZe in Vancouver, I just thought when we got to the grand final, we were going to see more. So I honestly don't know what the hell happened to Vancouver. We'll get to that series, but I say we hop into the first series of the day, and that's Toronto Ultra going up against the LA Thieves. This one, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what the fuck we saw from LA Thieves today. I don't know what this was. This was a 3-0 victory from Toronto Ultra, 250 to 115 in map 1, 6-4 in the S&D map 2, and a 3-0 in the control. We'll scroll down and take a look here at the stat sheet, and oh, Maron, you do not see a red carpet often from the LA Thieves. You have a .68 from Dylan Envoy, a .78 from Dan Ghosty, a .84 from Hydra, and a .98 from Scrap. They all got pooped on today. Nobody positive from LA Thieves. And then on the other side, everybody positive. Yeah, Beans with a 1.20, Kleenex with a 1.0, Insight with a 1.31, and Joe Deceives with a 1.47 as he continues to shine at this major. We'll scroll down and take a look at the match MVP. It's Joe Deceives with a 1.53 in Hardpoint, a 1.14 in Search, and a 1.57 in Control. Listen, these Toronto Ultra guys, they came out with the fire today. Sam, I think we should kick it off with you. These are your boys, LA Thieves. They come out, they get bodied. Sam, what happened today? I mean, what's going on with Thieves, man?
Well, first of all, my boys were in finals. Yeah, man, if you're a Thieves fan, I mean, I would be personally disappointed with their performance today. Me being a Vancouver fan, I was pretty pleased with how the team played today, but yeah, if you're a Thieves fan, it looks like the Thursday Thieves came out today, unfortunately. These guys just don't fucking try on land, bro. I don't know. I don't fucking know, Tom. I'm at a loss for words, brother. These guys are fucking ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're pretty
they
fucking
just don't.
bad.
The listening was the exact same as the listening on Thursday. I don't know how you have Thursday Thieves come out on a Sunday. I don't know if if Ben wants to make the ego point. I know he keeps bringing it up. I don't know if they're not eating, what they should be eating in the morning. But, brother, Call of Duty is the most day-to-day esport on the planet, and you don't get to have bad series. And the one thing that you can control is how hard you're fucking trying. And these guys were not trying. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, man. Back to the drawing board. Shit tournament.
Yeah, what about you, Pat? What you think of the series? LA Thieves, did you expect them to get bodied like this, Pat? I mean, I thought they were going to put up a fight against Toronto. This wasn't even fucking close. I didn't even know what to write down for this series. It was that bad. I had no idea what to even cover for this. They were just losing every fight.
Yeah, no, I mean, I absolutely did not expect them to get fucking world starred. I don't really know what's wrong with the Thieves. Like, right now, they're the worst onliners in the league. No bullshit. Like, the what we see online, this team is unstoppable. And then they come here and they just look terrible across the board. I don't know what they need. To me, it's typically when that happens, it's a confidence thing. But this team, especially on paper, should not lack any fucking confidence. And I don't necessarily think they had any pressure on them either. So, yeah, I don't know. Unless they just had an absolute shit weekend, which does happen sometimes. But yeah, this was disappointing. Super disappointing. Because I think Thieves would have gave FaZe, an on-point Thieves would have gave FaZe the best matchup in the finals, but yeah, they got fucking smoked.
Yep, wasn't even close. What about you, Duarte? What'd you think of the series?
Yeah, definitely disappointed. I mean, a lot of people had this team making the finals. They started off slow. We thought they were gonna get red hot as soon as they started turning up in the lower bracket, but they come in today flat. And Toronto, got to tip it to Toronto. They made a hell of a run from the losers round one all the way up until that top three matchup, and they played a good weekend of COD when it looked like they were on the decline for a while. So
I guess Adam's tweet is right?
What did he tweet?
He said we're going to be better than the Thieves when they made those roster changes.
Oh yeah, he did say that. I forgot about that tweet.
A lot of back and forth between him and Nate.
I wonder if he tweeted anything
another
today.
example of someone who was early. Not wrong. Got criticism as if he was.
Yeah, Pat's been talking Toronto up for 4 years, 3 years, or whatever the fuck.
2025 world champions.
I'm slowly, Pat. Never wrong. What about you, Benjay? What did you think of the series?
I mean, I think on the Toronto side, another generational series from Joe Deceives, and Ben Beans. Two guys were expecting to pop off. Toby had his moments as well, Jamie as well. But I mean, what a match against his former team from Joe. And I think on the Thieves side, I think Sam hit it nail on the head. Like, this is sort of the version of the team we saw on Thursday. You heard it in the listening. Like, start bringing that fire and intensity they brought in the matches in the middle of the week. And I don't know if it's because, they come in and disrespect some opponents and the ego opponents a little bit, and then they're not really matching the energy. I think Sam really got to the point of hey, like, you need to come in with that mental 110 focus, the things you can control. And then from there, you'll be able to kind of win the mental battle. So hopefully they work on that after this, because I want to see Thieves actually win the event this year.
Yeah, I mean, they were undefeated in the stage online. So for them to come,
man.
Yeah, for them to come to, like, Sam, do you think that played a factor? Like, maybe they came in overconfident? Like, I don't understand how you go undefeated online. And then, listen, I understand that you can go to land and lose. I understand that, right? Upsets happen. But it's just the way that they lost. Like the
Yeah.
way that they lost was kind of embarrassing. Like it was
They
like,
also
what the fuck?
They also didn't lose to Vancouver or FaZe. They lost to Breach and Ultra, which I'm not. They obviously had good tournaments. I'm not going to say they're bad teams, but for the quality of COD that LAT was putting out, to lose the way that they lost to those two teams, I really don't know what it is. Maybe it's overconfidence, but it was just a lack of effort. It was a lack of small talk. The listenings, like, usually they're a good look into how the team dynamic is going. They told me everything that I needed to know on Thursday and today. They were both just horrible. It was inexcusable COD from what is supposed to be the best team in the game. So they got to go home, reevaluate, man. I know they're going to be good online because they just are, because they're talented, but you can't show up to events when you're supposed to have it and put out 25% effort. That's just not how it works.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up the vetoes. A lot of people in my chat today were coming in talking about the vetoes in this series, saying that Thieves threw away the vetoes. Sam, I asked you during the watch party, you said that you don't think the veto played into this at all. I mean, the way that they lost, I don't think it played into it at all much either. But, I mean, I know Chris and Ben, you guys like to look at the vetoes. I mean, was there anything in the vetoes that caught your eye here that going into the series you thought Thieves fucked up on, or do you think the vetoes look normal here?
I think what people might be tweaking about is that Protocol map 1, but it's like, what do you want to play Toronto on? Like Protocol, which, to be fair to Thieves, like they're a DSAT, or Skyline, which I think Toronto's lost 1 out of like 8 times.
You're not playing Toronto with Skyline, man.
So I don't know what people are upset about on that front.
Yeah,
I think these
really
videos were about as straightforward as they can get. They took away all of Toronto's best maps. Skyline Hardpoint, they took away. They're not going to play them on Vault Control because Toronto's a very good Vault Control team. And then they're not going to play them on what they've been Protocol Search. Like, I think these are very straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you guys.
I think they could have played LSC low control and probably got 3-0 today, just out of the way that the teams were playing. They got fucking cooked, bro.
Yeah, they got cooked pretty badly. I mean, we can hop into some clips in the series. It's not much, obviously. It was it wasn't even close. I mean, the series was just a bloodbath. But I did want to tune into the listenings from the first map. They actually went into back-to-back listenings with both teams. So let's see the energy that they came out with here. Let's start with Toronto Ultra.
Square, he's gonna square. What's the chips though, right? Yeah, they're behind us, Joe. He's gonna be P1, okay? Oh, no, top bracket.
Block a weak on the green box, one in back lockers, and then one top trips. He's laying down like laying down lockers.
Low left, he's both.
He left me, then. Nice.
He's hitting low left, okay? They could hit your top tip, okay? Nice, good shit. Ghosty again. Green alley weak, he's still challenged. Like, he could have gone. Nice, Jamie, good shit.
Dead.
Keep blocking, okay?
Try green alley. Give me a gun.
I'm getting low
Scrap weak, and listen, one's a green alley. One hit green alley, deal, okay? Give me top one. Nice, Jamie. Give me top one.
Yeah, I got top.
I'm P1, they give me green alley. I'm blocking.
One's like deep right.
Yo, green alley, back right. One shot, back right.
After the close, dead.
Back right, dead.
I have in front of last guy. He already made the
Nice. Go.
I mean, look at the score right now.
Yeah, I'm coming with you guys. They're gonna be.
Already. I'm laying down. Holy maps. Back up. Tell me. Really back up. Nice. Maps.
Two last maps. Wait.
Go shooting right side. Wait.
Okay. There's one last maps in comps, okay?
Yeah, 1v1 spot.
All right, that's going to do it for the listening with Toronto Ultra. Let's take a look at the listening from LA Thieves because we listened to it in the moment and we thought they sounded like shit. You let us know what you guys think. Let's tune in.
Good job. Inside first one, guys. You have maps?
Yeah, I have maps.
Look at mid. Spiral's open. You spiral point?
Yo, he's mid P1.
That's the first
Inside.
one. Bernie, hold my spiral.
Maps coming. Maps.
That's all I need. Two. One more hit. Already in Joe.
Who's maps do?
Already in Joe.
In. Midside left.
Left side. Spiral.
Spiles on top still.
One more.
Okay, one more.
He's backside time. Phoenix.
P2 beans, really weak. He's
Backside time in max. Backside time in
Top
max.
broken. Alright, top broken and then.
Top broken. Weak. Mid gun dead. Nice.
Back side. Dead. One more
Nice.
close.
I'm jumping.
Two one time. Last two one time.
I'm gonna get mid gun. You guys
It's Marl.
Yeah,
It's
two.
Marl.
Both midside top.
2 on time. Kleenex one
Getting
bullet.
mid gun.
2 on time.
Yeah, I'm
Beats
getting
him. Kleenex.
Joe's going back double right now.
Last second. Broken down.
Nice.
Joe's gonna
Go
go
low doubles still.
Joe, right side doubles weak. Gonna pinch your top six.
Top triple, not weak.
Top triple. I'm pitching P2.
Let's go. We got this, boys. Remaining time.
Top triple. Let me triple right Top now. P2 then. There's triples, boys.
Play this guy,
I think we're starting the hill, yeah.
I don't see triple. Triple.
Nice, good job. Bang in the front door. I don't see time. He's on our side. He's our side time.
That's right. Double dead.
Nice there. Outer time right now.
Outer dead.
Nice.
Good job,
Great.
I got time.
I'll block.
We're not.
We're not hard blocking.
Missing bed. Yeah, flip.
Heard you. I got time. Bunch off, Ernie.
Could repitch
Nothing
doubles.
getting me
Yeah,
low.
I have it.
One guy's low heavy. One guy's low heavy,
I
Ernie.
have top double.
All right, and that's going to do it for the listening with LA Thieves. What did you guys think?
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest. The
I
listening
heard
was
Defcons the whole
whatever.
time.
The listening was
The listening
whatever.
was not whatever.
For me, it was because the way they were playing the maps was just dog shit. Like that transition, they had an opportunity there to like pin Toronto. They flipped them because they were not blocking
Not calling out.
and not calling out. Yeah. And then on the one before on Spiral, like on P4, they didn't have anyone pushed up Spiral. And bro, I hate when people turtle on the backside of the computers on that P4 hill because you don't really have a good angle to watch anything. You're either on top of the computer team shotting with the teammate front door, or you're pushed up into one of either Spiral or Zip. And they basically let Toronto just waltz through the hill. Yeah, the listening wasn't great, but like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what are they looking at?
I mean,
They're not,
that's how we felt the whole map, right? The whole map,
Yeah.
we were like, what the fuck are they doing? What are they like? It didn't even feel competitive. Just no teamwork, constant solo pushes, not getting into setups. Like it just felt like they weren't on the same page today. And then when they went into the listening, it just felt even worse. Even here, Beans gets this, Scrappy gets this kill in the 2v2 in the S&D. The S&D, I felt like there were situations here where LA Thieves probably could have ran away with the search. I mean, if you guys think if LA Thieves won the search, they could have had an opportunity to series, maybe. I mean, I feel like the S&D could have been a good momentum booster for them.
Yeah.
But
Potentially.
Jodeci's makes a big heads up player. Oh, my bad. I think I missed it. Did I show the Beans 2-piece? I don't know if I showed it, but I don't know how Beans gets 2 here. He's one shot in the corner. Surely Hydra called him out in the corner here, no? I mean, look, Beans gets 1, top you, because I don't understand why Dylan thought that he ran back in. I don't know. It just looked trolly to me, because look, it's Scrappy who ends up getting the first blood. It's a 4v3 situation. Beans finds 1, he's 1 shot. Surely there's got to be a trade here. I don't know if the comms were off or what, but me personally,
it's actually so weird.
I don't think there's any situation where Bean should be getting 2 there. In my honest opinion.
By the way, for the viewers at home, just so you guys understand, so you know, like Codcaster POV, you see the player die, and then like you see that split second before it swaps to another player. You can kind of see like what's going on in your death. I call it the death cam.
Yeah.
The players see that exact camera, the exact same thing. So like in Hydra's POV, if he says he's in Secret Hall, and he says he's running out.
There's
like
only one place you can be.
Like, unless Hydra doesn't comment or Envoy just blacks out, they should know that he's running out the hallway or he's still in there. You know what I mean? Like if he shimmies.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know. So like when you're watching that information that you see, the players also see it. So if they're not calming it or just, not reacting to it, there's some misplay there. Just for you guys watching.
Yeah. I mean, even with Joe at the end there, they didn't check the corners, and Joe just gets a free 2-piece. Yeah. Just feels like LA Thieves was just kind of out of it a little bit. And then we can get into the last and final round here just to see how the round ended up playing out. But you got Toronto Ultra just playing top mid. They play top close. They got one guy slow playing well. You see the LA Thieves guys, they play a spread, but it was actually Hydra that tries to make the play through mid. And again, I feel like that's kind of like the story with LA Thieves. A lot of the times they're trying to make solo plays, especially Paco. Do you feel that way, Sam? That sometimes in search, they kind of just throw the Pokemon ball out at Paco and just kind of hope that he makes a play, and you kind of live and die by it, no?
Yeah, I think that like a couple of weeks ago when we were a little harder on their search, that's how it looked. And then throughout the qualifiers, they were doing a lot of like 2-2s, and their situationals were really on point. They were playing off of each other well. And then when they got to the event, they were back to that like solo shit. It was not even just on Paco. I think they were all doing it.
Yeah.
The teamwork in search this weekend was not there compared to how they were playing it online.
Yeah. You can see they go down there, and then, I mean, after that, the control was easy sailing. There's a 3-0 in the control. Was a wipe. I see Kayson's over there. You got a headset on right now?
Hey, man, yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
Hey, Kayson.
What's going on,
Congrats,
Kayson?
buddy.
Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
Appreciate you
man.
joining us. Obviously, if you guys don't know Kayson, he's a music producer. He's on FaZe Clan, obviously. He's a content creator, and he's also a part owner in the Atlanta FaZe organization. So what's going on with you, Kayson? How's the event going? How was the energy? I know you were in the front row, right? What was the vibe like in the front row with an Optic home crowd, Kayson? Were they yelling at you?
They started chanting Kayson's nervous. It was all over the fucking arena.
They were
when
chanting.
we were down
I told you they
5-4.
were chanting that. Sam. Remember, I was like, I think they're chanting Kayson's nervous.
I thought they were chanting Draws' nervous.
Yeah.
I obviously was nervous. We were one round away from going to losers finals, but
Yeah.
the boys, I was with them in the back. They were so locked in the whole time, bro. They actually, like, honestly, compared to last year, like, you could see the difference, and like, nothing really has been phasing them. Like, they seem like they're in tough spots, and they're locked.
Yeah.
And they were locked the whole time. So, MC was talking fucking crazy on stage. It was good to see. Front row was vibey. I made sure to bring some FaZe fans from the suite. They weren't letting them down, but I grabbed them, and they was sick, bro.
That's
But it's
awesome.
fucking great event, man. Great event, Tom. I love the fucking jersey too.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. I had to put the all red on today for good luck, and the boys came out different today. We were also talking about a lot of people in the chat. Case on they want to see an Atlanta FaZe major. There's somebody in the community that's really mad at us because we were chirping the crowd for being silent. And they're like, yo, if your organization is not going to throw a major, then shut the fuck up, right? They're yelling at us. I mean, Casey, you think there's going to be an Atlanta FaZe major anytime in the near future?
Just for the record, guys, I want everyone to understand this. This is out of my control.
Yeah.
But I ended up deciding to put something in. I can't leak anything, but I'm already working on something next year. That's on behalf of me. That I'm really cooking. That would make a lot of you guys really happy. It's gonna be hard what I'm trying to do, and cost a shit ton of money, but I'm doing my best to make it happen. Everything I do is always going to be community based, so whatever you guys want, I'll do my best. But as far as Atlanta FaZe majors goes, I want everyone to understand that is out of my control. If it were up to me and even Tom, brother, we'd have a major every fucking year.
100%.
And I'm telling everyone right now, that shit is not going to be in Atlanta. I'm just going to flat out say it right now. That shit is not going to be in Atlanta. We're going to try. I'm going to do my best to cook. Listen, we just won 3 straight events.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy. These guys are dialed, and dude, obviously Optic always throws like the best fucking events.
Yeah,
so.
I was saying that at the beginning of the show. We got to show love to Optic because they're always stepping up to the plate, man. Like whenever an organization needs to host an event, they step up and they always do a good job. Me and Ben were talking about Corey early on in the show. They killed it again, Kason. They kill it. I mean, they do a good job over there. And the stage looked great too. The face-to-face stage when these guys chirping each other. Can you hear them chirping from the front row? You hear these guys chirping at each other?
When after the second round, the second game when we won the S&D, you saw when MC got that like 2-3 piece. Yo, you could hear. He's so funny. He just stood up. Yo, he was talking reckless, bro.
He's been talking rogue all week.
Yeah, like I love it.
That guy's a psychopath.
I like that. Maybe we can get some clips.
you see
Hear
my
what he was
tweet, Tom?
saying. No,
see my
what you say?
tweet?
No, what you say?
Dude,
What is it?
So like during the tech pause, and I guess Chris had to restart his game. MC was just spinning around in a circle, just fucking like putting a million sprays on the fucking map.
By the way, I want to respond to this guy. I shouldn't.
It's funny.
Someone said Kason's here because he bought ownership. Can I tell you something, brother? Just I know I should have, but I want to just because people don't understand this. I want everyone to know when I came into COD, I was already on FaZe, so it was more. This is becoming. Shout out to Tom, by the way, because I really fell in love with COD on a genuine level. I didn't have to, but Tom really kind of helped me immerse into the culture, and I see how beautiful this shit is and how great it is. And bro, this shit is amazing, man. Like I really love COD, and everything we do is like. I mean, brother, I don't make a dime from this shit. I just want everyone to know. So this is all passion and love, and that's really
you've
what
also
it
done
is.
a lot of good, bro. Hosting the events and doing everything you can. I mean, even when you had the 4 teams in the beginning of the year and you hosted that Kason showdown, I mean. Bro, shit like that goes a long way, bro, and it helps the scene a lot. So you're doing good for the COD community, bro.
Though, man, that was a good rage bait. I got a 10 out of 10.
No, I mean you're doing great work for the COD community, bro. You keep doing what you're doing, bro, and we appreciate you as well. And the chat's spamming WUNC right now. WK.
By the way, do you want a 1v1 tonight?
I don't know. Should we
I'm gonna be honest. What's going on here? 'Cause we thought we were getting a Kason Ben 1v1, and I'm not seeing it.
Too.
Yeah,
Listen, I'll tell you what right now. I will 1v1 Tom. We won't even go live. Tom, you stream the shit. You put it on your broadcast. I have a battle beaver.
We might have to the office.
I have a controller ready for you.
Ben, you look Ben, are you nervous? Ben, are you nervous over there?
No, I'm not nervous.
Okay, because you look
Brother,
nervous.
I was shooting yesterday on land. This shit feels fucking incredible. So I'm ready to go.
I heard you guys are playing it at the office.
All right, well, let's move on. Obviously, good to have you,
I'm gonna get out of
Kason.
here, okay, guys?
Yeah, you're good, Kason. I appreciate you joining. Let's move on here. Apparently, we have was there a roster change? Why is everybody telling me Lynn's tweet? I don't understand. He didn't tweet anything. He tweeted a Neymar gif. And I don't know what that means. Here, I'll pull it up on stream right now. This is what Lynn's tweeted. He tweeted a Neymar gif. And what is Neymar saying here? Let me see what's going on. It was just like I don't know. He's like kissing the camera. Everybody's freaking the fuck out in the chat over this tweet. I thought it was like a Roster Mania tweet or something. Does anybody know what's going on with Lynn's? Anybody have any idea what this is all about?
No,
Let's defer to Ben. Ben, what is he saying here?
Send me that.
Ben, are you there?
Yes. Sorry, I was talking to Kason. I mean, I think you would indicate that this is him saying goodbye, but I guess we'll find out with time. I mean, there's a lot of rumors flying around. I don't know if you saw the Jake Hale tweet, but there's already like 3 teams, I think, Falcons, obviously, with Doom stepping down, someone's going to step in that spot. We assume LG will make changes because they're a spot, and potentially 2 or 3 other teams. So could get mixy.
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
thought Gotaga was never dropping Lynch.
Yeah, who the fuck knows?
Public pressure has really turned around on that, like in the last 2 weeks, So.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with some of these roster changes. Obviously, we'll keep the shows going if we get some roster mania throughout the week. But let's head back into the major. You guys don't have anything else to say about Toronto Ultra Thieves, do you? Anything else? All right, let's move into the next matchup of the day. Probably the best series of the day. We have the winners final, Vancouver Surge going up against Atlanta FaZe. And finally, we see a map number 5. This was the only map 5 that we got all weekend long, which is fucking crazy. And Atlanta FaZe, they're actually down 4-5 in that one, and they win the last 2 rounds to win that one and go on to the grand final. So great clutch up from them. The first hard point, 250 to 164. Vancouver came out hot in the hard point, and then FaZe bounced back on a red card search, won that one 6-4. Protocol control 3-1 to FaZe. Back to the red card hard point again. Vancouver, their hard point is just so strong, 250 to 168 in that one. And of course, around 11 S&D, where FaZe were able to close it out on the protocol 6-5. We'll scroll down, take a look here at the stat sheet. FaZe won the series with nearly a red carpet here. The only person positive from Atlanta FaZe was Celium with a 1.17, and then Abizi at a 0.91, Draza with a 0.89, and Simp with a 0.82. And then on the other side with Vancouver, all positive with a 1.09 from Neptune, a 1.04 from Nasty, a 1.10 from Abuza, and a 1.02 from 04. We'll take a look at a match MVP. Of course, it's MC Celium with a 1.10 in hardpoint, a 1.0 in search, and a 1.62 in control. Listen, these guys actually showed out to play today. I was a little surprised by the Neslo series. I mean, Pat, we'll start with you. We'll go down the list, but are you surprised to see a Atlanta FaZe Neslo here against Vancouver in the winners final?
In real time, yes. But after the fact, like looking at it now after the tournament's done, not necessarily. Because I think FaZe just started slow, honestly. I mean, you can kind of, not many times that FaZe lose 2 hard points in any series. But props to Surge for sure. They showed up in this series. All of them really were shooting. So I guess the big benefit here is it's a Sunday, and FaZe did a Neslo clutch up, which again we've still kind of talked about it and probably will until we see more things like this happen from FaZe. But like they seem like they have their ice on Sunday now. They're not in the position they've been in years past where they kind of just completely crumble in these big moments. I mean, they obviously won around 11, but yeah, for sure was surprising in the moment. Kind of pretty poor showing out of Simp compared to the performance that he's been having recently, but MC's still doing his thing, even when it comes down to the wire like that. But yeah, overall, surprising a hot start from Surge, but FaZe got it done.
Yeah, what about you, Duarte? What you think of the series? Close series here, round 11, game 5, went all the way down to the wire.
Yeah, I give props to Surge for making it a close one, giving us at least one entertaining match for the entire major. Yeah, they were shooting all weekend, man. I'm actually really happy to see this team make a grand finals again, at least outside of the minor, because it's been kind of boring at the top, right? If we're going to see Atlanta FaZe get to these grand finals, like we want to see some new teams make some fucking runs, man. And it's good to see that these guys, especially with the majority of them only being in the CDL for such a short period of time, like 04, this is his second year, right? Mm-hmm. And then Nasty's been here up and down. Abuza, this is his second year. Neptune, he was like in it for a while, but then he kind of got dropped off and came back. Like, I don't know, it's a Cinderella story to see these guys have success, and I couldn't be happier for them. I always love seeing runs like this, so can't be mad.
Yeah, what about you, Sam? Vancouver, I mean, their hardpoint was looking incredible. No, Sam, they were looking great.
Yeah, I mean, they were the best hardpoint team in the venue until finals. I tweeted that I'm just happy that this team is like actually good. They're not pretenders. It makes things a little bit more fun at the top for sure, especially if LAT don't try on Lin. It definitely makes these events a little bit more entertaining, but. FaZe, yeah, I kind of just want to say what Pat said. Them having the ability to clutch up on a Sunday. Obviously, they've had the Sunday scaries in the past, so being able to have your back against the wall in Neslo on a Sunday is definitely important. And obviously, they turn around the hard point in finals, but it's just a great series from them going into finals, and then Vancouver again. I know they lost it, but I'm still super high on the team. They also got shit on in finals. We'll get there, but yeah, just overall sentiments. I'm just happy that Vancouver got here and is playing well.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, that's why we always talk about roster changes, right? I mean, I feel like Vancouver picked up Neptune and they looked like a different team. I mean, Pat, you talk about it all the time, right? These guys, they wait so long. These teams do nothing. And, I mean, look at the difference in Vancouver this weekend, right, after making a change. And a lot of people didn't think they can do it on land. Pat, I think you actually doubted Vancouver, right? You didn't think they were going to do it on land.
Yeah, I did. And I still, I mean, like, I'm still not sold on it. Obviously, they proved, enough this weekend. But when we look at the bracket run they made, and then again, their grand final performance versus their winter finals performance was a totally different team. But I don't necessarily think they had the toughest matchups early on. So I still want to see more out of them. But Neptune individually, I think, definitely showed up. Crowder had something to interview I saw where he was like, Neptune takes really, really annoying routes, but they took advantage of that in the final. And I'm curious to see if that, long term, how that kind of works out. But yeah, I mean, obviously to go from these guys were absolutely dog shit prior, made a roster change and made it to a final. So again, teams out there that are just fucking waiting to make moves, the next major will fucking try.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make a fucking change when you suck. You just have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what about you, Ben? What you think of the series? Vancouver, they made a run, but just fell a little bit short here in the first series of the day, the winners final.
I think Vancouver frustrated FaZe on the hard point. They pulled out a lot of ARs in situations and just didn't scam lives, and I think it really frustrated the sub players on the FaZe side, and they were just really weren't making an impact. But what they did make an impact was Search, and I want to shout out Tyler Beasy in this series because Maps 2 and Maps 5, I think he was impactful in a lot of really key rounds. I know Draws also made a really big play in that round 10 as well, and MC obviously been doing his thing in general cross today, but
yeah,
just a gritty, dirty, absolutely dirty Neslo, but you got to get the win how you get the win, and they move on to the grand finals.
Yeah, just to kind of show what Vancouver's bringing to the table in hardpoint. I mean, I got some clips for you guys, and one of them starts off early here on the map on the Vault hardpoint here, and it's the P2. Right, P2 causing troubles again, and just to kind of show you guys how it all breaks down, it was actually Draza who found a blood on this row, but Vancouver come all spawn and again getting broken through catwalk. That just looked way too easy for me, which I don't even know how this happened. You got one guy in the back, which is a BZ. You have one guy shimmying the left, and then I think the problem was the guy catwalk was by himself. Right, FaZe didn't really have any space on the map. I can actually rewind it a little bit more just to kind of see how this all sets up from the transition here. But Draza, you can see him rotating over. He's able to get one, gets the kill, and then it just kind of starts from catwalk, starts to sell him going down by 0-4, and 0-4 just runs right through middle and just finds a nice two-piece there. Neptune cleans him up outer. Any problem there from FaZe, Duarte or Sammy? What's going on with the setups here? What you think? Because after this, from the P3 to P4, it got bad. I mean, Vancouver took a fat lead early. Is there anything you would have changed here if you were Atlanta FaZe, or you think 0-4 just made the fucking play?
I mean, I do like the fact that the guy in the hill, he's kind of acknowledging that his life is damn near irrelevant, especially at the start. So he's challing out, but they kind of just tunnel and they let this number 3 guy get through instead of making sure that they clear all of the open lanes off of old. And he ends up flipping those spawns, and he creates a lot of indecisiveness for them. So, I mean, maybe they just didn't spread out enough and get the information early. But outside of that, I mean, good play by 0-4.
Yeah, and you can see Simp on this row. I mean, he almost finds a big 2 there. Great play from 0-4. Anybody else got anything to say on that clip? Because Vancouver break, they get a lot of time. And I wanted to show the P4 rotation. Sam, you got anything? Pat, Ben, anything? Probably
no,
not.
I think it was just the timing of the kills on the push kind of frustrated FaZe's setup and gave 0-4 that gap.
Yeah, and then, over to the P3 to P4. Take a look at the minimap, right? FaZe do have the good spawns right now. For that P4 hardpoint, which is the money hill. So this is an opportunity for them to maybe get a big hold here and take the lead. But take a look at the break here from Vancouver. They ended up taking one route mid. That's going to be a Booza. The rest of them hit through street. I think it was 0-4 who came through vault. And FaZe just kind of gets swarmed here. Actually, just to rewind it back a little bit, just to see how these two players spawned out. Maybe some overchows here from FaZe. You see Simp here in the middle of the map. MC actually finds one on the row. Draza and Simp both go down. Nobody plays their life on the rotation, and now you can see all the players spawning out. And Vancouver do a good job recognizing those spawns and pushing and hitting those left sticks. We know how important it is to get the left sticks going when you get some kills. You see a lot of teams who just don't move when they get kills. But Vancouver definitely didn't have that problem. I mean, take a look at the minimap now. It was clinical from Vancouver. Phenomenal break. I thought FaZe might have overchowed there on the row. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I think Chris's channel's kind of shit.
Yeah,
he has a sub and he's just like squaring out in the open for a boozes fight.
I also
Yeah.
think teams need to start doing a better job of just denying this side of the map, especially on the rotation, basically until the hill's like damn near finished. Because it's so easy to start blocking that spawn. It takes no effort. You like number 1 just did it. That's why number 8 spawns out. As soon as you get to B control, you start spawning out, and that's that's essentially what makes the play. They kind of give up the left street because they're like, oh yeah, let's try to stop them from like wrapping early, but I feel like it's way more important than people make it out to be to deny that left street control, because most of the time the breaks do come in from that side. Everyone always takes that route. They try to get into art, they try to get to the statue, and then they break you from there. So, I mean, maybe just put a little bit more emphasis on denying that rather than just like trying to cut off the cross on the right side of the map.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nonetheless, great plays from Vancouver, right? Obviously, FaZe made some mistakes, overchat a little bit. But Vancouver, on the break, just working those kills, realizing the spawns and just making plays off the situation. I thought it was great plays from them. And FaZe, they did end up bringing it back a little bit with a couple big holds, but going into the last P1 to P2, I mean, Vancouver just kind of run away with it. They get so much time on his P1 hardpoint, which I actually think is pretty difficult to do. But they just win all the 1v1s. They pick up all the late routes coming in from FaZe. You have FaZe trying to take routes, whether it's on the pinch or through top cat. And you can see Vancouver, they just do such a good job just locking down every single lane, making sure there's no gaps open, and nobody from Atlanta FaZe able to make a play. Neptune ends up finding a 3-piece. And then you can see again, after they get the kills, Vancouver pushing through it, making sure they get the spawn flip. And then Neptune, he picks up on the flips. He turns around. They got the spawns blocked as well, and I just thought they played this perfectly. Like the P1 to P2 rotation, just the way that they were able to chain these hills together and run away with this hard point was clean. I mean, that was clean. There's not really much, unless you guys saw anything there from FaZe. I thought that was just clinical from Vancouver. I don't know how you guys feel about the routes FaZe are taking when trying to break the P1. We go into when I think somebody tried to take a long route. Yeah, it was actually Simp who goes around. He tries to make a play through you. And yeah, Vancouver just do a fantastic job. Neptune was all over the place today, huh? Neptune was crazy.
I'm so happy that kid's good. I'm so happy.
It's a crazy story too, because he came from Challengers, and it's like, I mean, I know he's been on other teams in the CDL and it hasn't really worked, but I mean, we definitely got to start seeing teams dipping in Challengers after this weekend for sure. Especially, I normally don't gas this guy. I want to show this guy some love, but Brack, bro, Duarte, this guy Brack is at the top of Challengers every year. It doesn't matter who he's playing with, what team he's on. He's always fucking cooking. What do you think about Brack and RCD's Johnny and Standy? Obviously, they won the Challengers event this major, and want to get your thoughts because I know you're down.
I'll focus on Brack and Johnny first, because I think they've been out of the CDL like pretty much the majority of the time. But dude, Brack was always like a pretty reliable player. A lot of people criticized him because he was kind of slow, but like obviously over the years he's getting more experience. He's going to become a better player. But on top of that, he was always consistent. I think he was just always on those like bottom/middle of the pack teams. And I don't think he ever really was in like a good enough environment to succeed, at least in the CDL era. But dude, I'm going back to the CWL era. That guy was good as fuck. He was on LG, right? I think. And I think he was also on Genji. Was he? He was on both, no?
No, he wasn't on Genji.
He was on Genji. Okay. He was on LG, and he was pretty good then. That was his like rookie stint when he was first getting in. Yeah. So like, bro, I don't think that guy's gotten a fair shake, and he's really good at search. I think he's very smart, he's a very good player, man. I think that guy definitely needs a shot again. He's always
people
to say he hasn't gotten his fair shake is crazy, but I do think Brack is playing good enough to be in.
No, he hasn't got his fair shake in like CDL era. He's always on like middle of the pack teams with like, and no offense to like any of his.
I'm confused.
No. He just needs some more talent, bro. I feel like he's always on the team with like just headless ass fucking players. Like I'm not going to go into it, bro.
Wasn't he criticized for being that's fair. Wasn't he criticized for being a kill whore though?
I don't know. Kill whore. He was more like a slower player.
He was just a slow bastard, bro. As someone that's played against him, he was a slow bastard.
I also think Challengers, with the speed that with Challenger play is I feel like everyone will agree Challengers is a lot more reckless in terms of their play style. I mean, look at Neptune. Fucking, he came up from there, and that guy's a speed demon. I feel like he's probably changed that. But on the Johnny front, Johnny again hasn't got his fair shakes. I don't think. Like, he was on that Paris, or was it Paris at the time, or Vegas or whatever, but he was on that team. That team wasn't good. He got put on Vegas again in MW3, and that team was all right, and I feel like he played good for that team. He just didn't get re-signed on any other roster. But I mean, that guy's putting up fucking monstrous performances both online and at this LAN. He fucking fried, especially in the grand finals. Like I think he had like a 1.5 in the grand finals, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, those guys are great. Arcides, I mean, he's been good for a while, but then he kind of had a long falling off, so he's kind of a risk. And then Standy's been up and down. He gets his critiques about how he's not a good teammate and stuff like that, or I don't know. But I mean, at the very least, I'd love to see Johnny get a fair shake, and maybe Brack, because Brack is very similar to like that fellow-esque player. He's just like a very smart guy. You know, very good at communicating and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I mean, he played for the FC Black team, and he was really good for us. I mean, he was insane. Granted, all those guys were, but just to see Brack just constantly at the top, just wanted to show some love to him, because obviously, you know, challenges is all they really have to show for it, right? And look, people can say whatever you want about past performances on Brack or past placements, but look at Neptune, right? Sometimes the situations you're in or the people around you, it just doesn't click, but in the right situation or the right team environment, you know, Brack could work on some of these teams. I mean, bro, I just want to see some of these teams make changes. I want people to dip into challengers and actually start making a name.
I also want to say this because there's some people in chat that will be like, oh, yeah, these guys aren't needle movers. Brother, in Black Ops 6, you don't have to be the most insanely talented fucking player in the world. A lot of the time, all it takes to succeed is like having good teamwork. This game, say it again, is not the most skilled game in the world. When you give everyone these omni movement tools and guns have no recoil and the game is oversimplified this much, anyone can be good if they're playing together as a team. Like look at fucking Seattle. We thought these guys were dog shit. They get one player on their team that fits their system, and now a lot of them look like fucking superstars at times.
Yeah. And
you're going to tell me that these guys were always this good? It's not that. They're just working well with each other, and it brings out the best in people. So I don't know. You got to try things out, man. You'll never know until you do.
Yeah, let me get into the next series of the day. This is the losers finals. Obviously, Atlanta FaZe waiting in the grand finals at this point, and you have Vancouver Surge going up against Toronto Ultra, and this one ended in a 3-1 victory for Vancouver Surge. I thought Ultra was going to push them to their limits, but you know, Vancouver, they end up getting the W. I mean, the first map was actually really close, 250 to 239 in the protocol hardpoint. I actually want to take a look at that last hill on that map, because it came down to the wire. And then, of course, we got the protocol search 6-4 in favor of Ultra. And then the next two maps, Clinical from Vancouver, 3-1 in the control and 250 to 149 in the Hacienda hardpoint. We'll scroll down, take a look at the match MVP. We got Neptune with a 1.31 in hardpoint, a 1.43 in S&D, and a 1.23 in control. Phenomenal plays from him. What happened to Breaking Point? And I got the stats for this series. Let me hit a refresh and see what's going on.
It should pop up, yeah.
Oh, the website's down right now. All right, no problem. You guys give me your thoughts on the series. Vancouver Surge, they come out, they get the W, and they end up going to the grand finals. What do you guys think about Toronto's just overall event? I mean, how do you think they competed? Sam, we'll start with you. Toronto Ultra, I mean, they come out, they look good. They get a top 3 placing here, and I think the biggest guy for me is just Joe Deceives. I think that's the biggest thing. I feel like Joe's been unreal.
I thought that guy was the best player in the venue at times. Yeah, I've been super hard on Toronto. I made the argument that they've been getting worse as the years gone on prior to their run at the major. So, hats off to them. I thought Beans had probably his best tournament that I've seen him have. I thought he was pretty underwhelming coming into it, and I think he overperformed absolutely. He had a phenomenal major. His search and destroy was on point. I think he had like 4 or 5 clutches on the weekend. Obviously, Joe, you don't need to say much more about him. And then the other two were contributing. I think Toby had a pretty poor losers finals. Maybe a 0.7. So I think they kind of just ran out of gas. But overall,
here we go.
If I'm a Toronto fan, I'm excited, man. I thought their map pool was looking a lot better. They still had a couple of issues in their hard point, specifically against Vancouver, but I think against everybody else, they kind of front run them a little bit. They were incredible in hard point the whole weekend. I just think Vancouver was the best team there when it comes to that mode. But overall, again, as a team, if I'm a Toronto Ultra fan, I'm definitely happy with the performance. And then on the other side, yeah, this was a nasty Neptune takeover series. Those guys just shit on them, frankly.
Yeah, just to let the audio listeners know what's going on, I finally got the stats up. But 0-4 with a 0.92 in this one, a 1.04 from Booza, a 1.38 from Nasty, and a 1.29 from Neptune. On the other side, nearly a red carpet for Toronto Ultra. The only one positive is Beans with a 1.02, and then the rest of them just struggling in this one. Kleenex with a 0.73. a .86 from Insight, and a .91 from Joe Thieves, obviously match MVP Neptune. But Ben, we'll go to you, and then we'll work our way up. What you think of the series, Ben? Here in the losers final.
I think Sam really, kind of encapsulated my thoughts. I felt like, the swing mode, the map 3 here for Toronto, and they sort of petered out after that. Kind of showed no life on the Hacienda, which is unfortunate. But I think you can't be too mad if you're Toronto. I think top 3 is very good placing for them. I think they can hopefully kick it on from here, be a little bit more consistent. And for Vancouver, I mean, bro, these guys, I know you see why they're so frustrating to play on like protocol, because not only is Neptune constantly pushing P, pushing your spawn, getting in your face, but Nasty and Abuser are walking 2 pieces. They're ratty, they're annoying on P1, they're annoying in the windows. These guys have like the perfect play style and like personnel for that map mode combo. So.
Yeah. What about you, Duarte? What you think? What you think of Toronto Ultra this weekend?
Toronto Ultra definitely stepped up. They got a lot of their players going. I think Joe Thieves continued his consistency from his online matches. Jamie showed better performances for the most part. And then Beans and Kleenex played pretty damn well in the majority of their matches. But unfortunately for them, they kind of run out of gas here. I think Seattle or Vancouver just match up well versus them in the map pools and stuff like that. Because that's something that, regardless of Toronto performing really well this weekend, that we still haven't really seen much of their map pool improve. And they ended up getting outclassed here. I think the Hacienda is kind of the main map that I'm looking at. Like, they've been kind of up and down on that map for the most part. And, they ended up biting the mat in the ass here, because with Vancouver being such a good hardpoint team, they're probably going to win their map pick. And then when they play a map that Toronto isn't that good at, like, it's just going to be wraps. They kind of had to live and die by a Neslo in this series, and they got beat on their best control map. So,
What about you, Pat? Any thoughts on this series?
The tissue just was not an issue in this one.
Yeah.
I genuinely just feel like Toronto got outplayed start to finish, but this was another fucking big series out of Neptune. I'm curious, like, in the series that Neptune fries, I need to go look, 'cause I'm not 100% sure. Like, is the opposing team sub getting world starred in that series? Like, what?
Not always.
He's just straight guarding him.
Yeah, no bullshit. I feel like I've seen that multiple times.
He's calling
where it's like,
ISO with balls on top.
yeah, he has like a godlike series, and the other sub just gets fucking waxed. But I don't know. I don't know if it's like a for sure thing or it's just happened a few times. I noticed it, but overall, yeah, I think Surge just outplayed them. And Toronto ran out of steam, especially after that hot win against the Thieves.
Yeah.
Tongue, can you pull up the vetoes really quick? I forgot what was banned in this series.
Yeah, sure. It looks like Toronto got rid of Red Card Hardpoint. Vancouver got rid of Skyline Hardpoint. And then Toronto picked Protocol Hardpoint. Vancouver picked Hacienda Hardpoint. And then Vancouver ended up banning Skyline Search. Ultra banned Red Card Search. And then Vancouver took Protocol for their pick. And then for the control, it was a Hacienda, or sorry, it was for the S&D. Ultra picked Hacienda, and then Ultra banned Hacienda Control. So Vancouver ended up picking Volt in that one. What are your thoughts, BJ?
It's just unfortunate, because I think the map set is really tough with the Hacienda Hardpoint on the Vancouver side. Like, if this had been a mixy series, this is probably still going 5 anyway, because I think Vancouver probably winning that map. But I think just unfortunately Toronto just kind of ran out of gas after the third map.
Yeah, they had a good tournament. They had a good showing. I'm sure they're not happy with it. I'm sure they wanted first place. I thought for a second after they took down Thieves, even going into that match, I think I said to you, Sam, that I think Toronto Ultra might even take this with the way that they were looking. But yeah, Vancouver still came out, took care of business. I think that makes me even more worried for LA Thieves after the way that they lost that series. But yes, great showing from Toronto Ultra. I think a lot of those guys, we're going crazy, especially Joe.
Did anyone have them placing that high?
Hell no.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I had him out in sixth.
Yeah, we all had them like 5th, 6th. That's what I thought. Yeah. So, I think
No, they had a great
Well,
tournament.
that's what happens when Carolina bombs out. Thieves get fourth. Like, there's opportunity. And Toronto Ultra, we've been talking about in a big series, they don't show up. They showed up yesterday and showed up today, and got tip it.
People
Beans
keep
had
telling
a
me,
fucking incredible tournament.
Yeah, Beans
This
played
was
well.
Beans. This was the event we've been waiting for Ben Beans. Obviously, the first. This is like the best team he's ever been on, but he definitely showed up to play today.
Bance came out and tweeted, also had an admin before the finals try and tell me he doesn't care about my shaders loading in. He said, I need to join up and spawn in. Hello, do you not know COD? Where do we get these admins from? That is insane.
Can I speak on this?
Yeah, go ahead,
I don't
Ben.
know, like, This is one on the many list of issues going on with, and I don't know who the admins were for this event. Like, I don't know if this was FaZe or if this was someone else running this. But I think overall the quality of the admin work in the Challengers scene needs to be improved. Like, there's certain things that Challengers players complain about just to complain. But, I mean, there's been a whole laundry list of things the last 2 years I think are very simple things that admins can do. And I don't know if maybe institutional knowledge for people that have moved up or been promoted or left is not getting passed on, but I think all these tournaments could run cleaner.
I don't think it's,
for example,
not knowledge though.
Well, for example, the Challengers tournament on Friday had major delays, and they were playing until 3 a.m. last night.
I'm not gonna lie, Brad. They got to get this shit on console. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think they're gonna upgrade these PCs for a very long time. And the way these games have been made, they are continuing to run poorer and poorer, and just having fucking issues with outdated hardware. Not only that, bro. The quality of the PCs, even the pros use, are garbage. Like, they're Alienware fucking pre-built shit that are literally like encased in this giant tank, and there's literally zero ventilation. I remember one time I went to London's team house and I played a cup there. And I was using a CDL PC, and I had to go in and somehow find a way to turn the fans on to max because of how much they're overheating. The performance on them is fucking terrible. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's causing issues with the game and the setups and all that stuff. Go to console. It's fucking plug and play. It will be better for the community. More people will probably willingly try to get involved. And yeah, leave the fucking pros to playing on PC and just have people adapt as they get moved up.
I think the league PCs haven't had as many issues this year, and I don't know if you noticed, there were very few delays from the production side for pros this weekend. So shout out to everybody involved in that, because it was an absolute time respecter. I agree with you with Challengers.
Brother, they are garbage. It doesn't matter. Like, they are terrible.
The Challengers PCs are even worse because those are way too old. I don't know if those are like old BlizzCon PCs or something, but they need to switch to console. There's a perfect time for Xbox to come in and be the sponsor of Challengers, obviously, because Microsoft and Activision are a thing now.
When does the
we
new
had Adam
console
on the show
drop?
like a year ago. He talked about this. So if you want to go back and watch that combo,
Where are we in the generation of the consoles? Like, how far away are we from the next generation?
A while. They just came out with the PS5 like a couple of years ago. Like,
Came out like 5 years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, and the typical lifespan of consoles is like almost
5
a
years at a
decade.
time.
It's like 5 to 10 years.
What? No, it's not. The Xbox One came out in 2014, and then the fucking new one came out in like 2019.
People in chat are saying the 2027 is the new Xbox. So 27, 28, like it's not for a while either way.
A year and a half. The reason I asked though is because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this generation of console dropped the ball. Like, I feel like people just didn't fucking get them.
I think because
they were
gaming
insanely
itself
expensive too.
The gaming experience is transitioning. Obviously, they were super expensive when they came out. COVID, like a bunch of other stuff, factored in that. But I mean, you have to remember, like Xbox 360 came out, Xbox One. Like, this is when people thought like the do-it-all set-top box was going to be the fucking future of things, and that clearly wasn't.
To be
the case,
fair,
so.
this shit doesn't even matter, bro. Like, I've played this game on console, and after like playing it for a while, this shit's fine. Like, and those games are optimized to run on the console, like enough to play. Like, the only thing that's the hurdle is getting over the controller delay, but that's just something that you can't. Like, you just can't overclock. There's not like separate hardware. Like, if the hardware didn't exist on PC, you'd be basically playing with an under overclock controller anyways. The point is, it's just easier to run. It's probably less expensive. I mean, maybe not so much now because they'd have to get the consoles in the first place to run the tournaments, but it just causes way less issues.
It's a
console would be lit. I mean, I think they should go back to console too. Go ahead,
we had Adam on a year ago. Adam made a point. This is where Xbox steps in. They had prize money in the Challengers. You bring the gear in. It's going to drive costs down because it's way cheaper to run, deal, ship with consoles, less staff required. It's going to save money. And more importantly, like, I just think it'll be a better experience for a Challengers player. Even people starting to get started don't need to get a fancy PC. Yeah, some pros at home or some Challengers players at home might play on PC and then play on console when they get to an event. But it's just going to be better for everybody. And I hope they make the switch for our next season.
Yeah. Let's move on to the grand final. Unless anybody got anything else to say on that topic. All right, grand final, Atlanta FaZe against the Vancouver Surge and fucking hell. Atlanta FaZe get the 4-0 victory against Vancouver in the grand finals. Vancouver don't even win a map. 250 to 193 in the first hard point. That's going to be on protocol. 6-1 in the Skyline Surge. 3-2 in a protocol control. And 250 to 137 in a Hacienda hard point. We'll scroll down, take a look here, and oh my own, we got a red carpet here in a grand final. 0.92 from 04, a 0.7 from Abuza, a 0.82 from Nasty, and a 0.81 from Neptune. On the other side, a 1.0 from Abizi, a 1.28 from Draza, a 1.04 from Simp, and a record high grand final KD from Celium with a 1.72.
This fucking kid, bro. I swear to
A
God.
1.72 in a grand final. It is the highest KD ever in a grand final. That
Is
is
that
fucking
true?
insane.
Really?
In the CDL.
In the CDL.
What's the record?
And
Record? What's the record?
I have no idea. I was just talking about CDL.
I think I had like a 2.0 at PAX East. No bullshit. 2014.
I think Formal, IW Formal. What did he have?
I have no idea.
A 1.98 people were saying from Formal in IW.
That includes group stage at Champs. That's the only thing. I obviously fried that.
No,
Disrespect,
I thought
but...
this is just a grand final.
Oh, man, had a 198 in the grand final at IW.
Just a grand
We're
final.
saying formal ghosts.
I don't know. I was just reiterating this tweet right here from Brian. From Brian Stats, a legendary tournament for selling. He
simple
records
chat.
the highest finals KD in CDL history with a 1.72. He's now an 11-time champion, a 1-time world champion, KD leader at 10 major tournaments, most in COD history, and positive KD at 26 straight events. He has gone positive in 26 straight events, bro. I think who has the streak for? Is it Scump?
It's Scump, I think.
How many does he have? How many straight positive events has Scump had? Does anybody know the number? I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure it's like fucking 40 or something insane.
That's fucking crazy. That is insane. That's the king right there. It's the fucking king. But somebody said 40 something, like 40 plus. I'd actually love to know the actual number, but that's actually crazy from Seth. MC. Positive every single one. I can actually see, but I don't understand how MC. I don't ever see him going negative at an event. Like, honestly, like the way that he plays and the way that he sees the game.
No.
Yeah, bro, he's just like so consistent. Like it's insane. And he obviously got MVP for this event, which I think we all agree he deserved, right? MC?
I mean,
yeah,
bro, the
sure.
first 3 maps of this series, the plays that he was making, like, dude.
Insane. He had a 1.51 in hardpoint, a 5.5 in S&D, and a 1.70 in control. Just absolutely dominated this grand final. Granted, they all played very well. Whole team stepped up to the plate. I thought Draza was phenomenal this event. I thought he looked great. And then, of course, the Terrors. I mean, you know what you're getting out of Simp and Abizi. Just the pressure that they put on the map, it had to be annoying to play
They
against.
weren't even the best players on their team in this series either. They were 3rd and 4th best. I mean, obviously, the 2 did really good in the searches, but, dude,
yeah.
is that going to pop off map 1? Like,
And I think, I mean, we'll go down the list and give your thoughts on the series, but I think we can all agree that Vancouver, as the series went on, they lost their heads. They lost it. By map 3 or 4, they looked like they were. I mean, map 3, they were trying to hang on, but I mean, in map 2, the S&D was bad. It looked like they were just running and dying. And the last map, Hossie had a hard point. I mean, it was just solo chow to solo chow. Vancouver completely lost their teamwork. Almost seemed kind of flustered, and it kind of lost their heads a little bit. But what did you think, Pat? Atlanta FaZe, 4-0 victory, Vancouver Surge. What were your thoughts on the grand final?
I mean, I was just glad to see FaZe come out and play hard points this way, but yeah, I mean, they just waxed them. This looked like a massive talent diff. I don't know if Surge ran out of steam or what, but
You think they went back and adapted, Pat? Like going into the grand final? You think they had to have talked about their hard point, right? Going into the grand final?
Yeah. That's why I brought up the interview replays had, because he literally said he was like, Crowder.
Crowder, yeah.
He was like, Neptune was doing some like really weird routes in the winter finals, and it caught him off guard. And then he just said, like, we just straight up capitalized on it in the finals. And I'm not necessarily saying that's what changed, them blowing them out, but clearly they adapted to whatever Surge game plan was. But yeah, this series wasn't close. This was belt to ass for about 45 minutes, and then they raised the trophy. So obviously a good win out of FaZe.
Yeah. What about you, Duarte? So you got the cat on the screen. What did you think about the grand
just
final?
be jumping up on the desk. But yeah, it was a snooze, man. They came in, they shut shit down. It took them a while to get used to their play style, but I think FaZe is gonna be one of those teams. They're gonna figure out the Surge. They're probably one of the only teams right now that can keep up with like they're like Neptune and like 04 and those guys' pace, because those guys run it the fuck down. And when they're doing that shit, they are really fucking good at this game. But overall, I mean, they just came out flat. I think that S&D, after they got beat down that bad, it was kind of reps there. They're going into a hacienda, and I think that's what they picked. That's what they put that work into that map for. Like FaZe, they played the shit out of that map. I was surprised not to see it in the winners finals, but they put the work in on that map because they wanted to play that map against teams like Thieves and teams like Surge. They ended up closing it out on it. So
Yeah. What'd you
Great
think,
series.
Sam? What'd you think of the grand final, Sam?
I really didn't know which team to take just off of the winners final, but I did say whoever won the opposite like map pick, like if FaZe won first map, I had them winning like 4-1. I didn't think it would be as dominant. And then if Vancouver won the search, I had them winning the series. But FaZe came out and just set the tempo immediately. You could just tell after the first map that Vancouver was just deflated. They speed ran the skyline, and from that point, it was kind of over.
Yeah.
Again, hats off to Vancouver for making the final, but there's levels to this shit, respectfully.
Yeah.
And FaZe beat the fuck out of them.
Yep. What about you, Benjay? Grand final, FaZe come out, take care of business. What's going on? What do you think?
I mean, I think, we've talked a lot over the years about this FaZe team and their Sunday struggles and their conversion rate. But since Jack has joined, since they brought in Matt Fisher, I think a lot of those issues have been cleaned up. And it's that kind of event that they've lost in the past. A hot team comes in, kind of on top of the meta, playing at pace, and they kind of body slam the FaZe guys. And instead, FaZe kind of, after a gritty Neslo and winners finals, just took map one hard point and didn't really look back from there. So it's going to take a tough team to take these guys down. They're trying to go for 4 now, but yeah, Three-Peat first in the CDR, probably the first since what, AW Optic? I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
I think there's only been 4 teams that have done it.
Well, the 4. You guys, Optic,
Rico,
Dynasty.
we
us,
choked our
Optic,
3P.
yeah.
We choked ours. Bad.
and now these guys, yeah.
I would have three-peated if Preston didn't vomit all over side station B.
That
I
is
remember
true.
that. I actually remember that. Is that when Jay filled in?
Yeah.
Don't
Would've
mix an
three-peated
ass in the
Technically-
base, guys. Don't mix
technically
an don't mix an ass in the base. Let's learn a lesson there.
Technically, this is a cross-game 3-peat, though, right? So they still got to win the next one, a 3-peat on the same game.
Yeah.
That kind of happened to us
Yeah.
in AW because Ian got really sick. You remember that, Ben? We won 2 events, and then we went to DC, and then Ian got really sick, and then we ended
I
up
didn't go to DC.
winning the next event. So we won 3 out of those 4 events in AW. And
Bro, people are saying EWC doesn't count. That is $1 million tournament, brothers. That shit counts with pool play.
Every
That
team
counts
was there.
easily.
$1 million tournament. Like,
That
Shit
shit
might
counts.
count more
we're
than
counting
James.
Crown
No
Melbourne. We're
bullshit.
counting fucking
That
EWC.
shit counts.
Not every team. My Kings, LAG, were not there.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if
Just
they were there, they would have won.
well, real quick, just to steer the convo, a lot of questions coming in the community and on Reddit. I wanted to ask you guys: is FaZe a dynasty? What do you think? Are they on pace to become a dynasty? Are they on pace, or are they already? What do you guys think? We'll start with you, Pat. What do you think?
I absolutely think they're a dynasty. I think they're the worst dynasty of the 3, just because, I mean, like, their win-loss record in finals is rough. And it's like, that's something that really you're never going to be able to fix just because there's so many losses on it. But, I mean, sustained dominance over a period of time, and obviously a majority of this team is stuck together. This is by far, a dynasty. This is the CDL era dynasty.
I also don't think you'll ever achieve what teams like Complexity or Optic ever achieved ever again. Like, that's just never going to happen with the amount of talent there is, the fucking games they make. It's not going to happen, bro. Like the league, in terms of it's not, I wouldn't say it's necessarily more competitive, but the teams are way more practiced. So it's not gonna happen again.
Bro,
But
Sam,
I-
what am I hearing, bro?
I
Me
don't
and
know
you
what's going on,
pre-
bro. This
pre-
game is way easier than when I was playing.
Yeah, but that's what
Pre-show,
I'm-
Chris and Sam
don't-
were
I don't
literally
think that's
saying,
gonna
like,
happen.
The league is not competitive
Yo,
at
it was
all.
way harder to play 5 years ago
no,
than
but
it is now, brother.
I'm saying you're never gonna achieve that sort of dominance ever again, in my opinion. Like, it's just not possible. But I would consider
You only
them.
got to be better than 2 teams.
I would
You gotta win
consider
3
them.
series and you're in final.
No, I would consider them a dynasty simply because they set the standard every single year for a team. Like, every team is making rosters to compete with these guys and to beat these guys. And if you're thinking otherwise, regardless of what the results are at the end of the year, midway through the year, you're wrong. These guys literally are the standard for dominance in COD, and everyone wants to beat them and makes rosters to compete against them every year.
That's what happens when
Also-
there's a dynasty, right? You got to try. People have to try and form rosters to take these teams down. I mean, that's usually what it comes to. But what are you gonna say, Pat? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just got tight, bro. You also got to be better way less. Like, bro, Chris, I don't understand that point. Like, yeah, teams are more practice, and I also don't disagree with that just because people don't even fucking play eights. The level.
Yeah,
Bro,
but
people
I
used to play
also-
eights for 8 hours a night.
My point
But
is
nowadays, no. What I'm saying though is there are less times to be great at. You have 5 events a year. We had
It's
to fucking
just-
show up to 20 events and be
Played
great
one
at
event
all
a month,
20.
sometimes two.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think there's just more talent like nowadays. Yes, there was more obstacles that you
That's
had to
so
overcome,
relative, though,
but
'cause
like
it's really not. Like, bro, how is there more talent?
We
There
just
are 3
watched
good
20
teams.
straight series without a game.
bro, I mean, your perspective is skewed just like mine is
It's
because
not.
when
I'm
I was
watching the same
no,
thing
no,
you
put it this
are.
way. Put it this way. When I was at the top in BO2, I felt like there was 2 good teams. When you were at the top, you probably felt like there was 2 good teams. When you're looking at these CDL teams, even like FaZe, they probably think there's like 2 good teams and everyone else's ass. Like when you're at the top, your perspective is skewed, and I think.
But I'm not. I don't even play COD. How am I? I'm not at the top. I'm watching it.
Well,
and
you're
I'm
looking
seeing
at
in
it.
the past,
You're
though.
looking at it from your perspective back then and comparing it to now.
I'm taking my perspective from the past out of it and only looking at the current product at hand. I only see 2 competitive teams in the league.
I mean, you could talk to players nowadays, and like for example, I mean, like Scrap will disagree with you and say that like you have to try really hard in every single series, and there's no freebies in the league outside of Falcons.
I mean, yeah.
Technically.
Why the fuck ain't we
Scrap.
trying?
Yeah.
Technically,
If you ask the guy who's
but
showing up 7
I mean,
online and getting
I mean, like I'm looking at it from a pretty unbiased perspective. I don't think you'll ever like come into an agreement with that like sort of argument. But in my opinion, I think it's just way harder to like dominate to the same degree that you guys dominated back in the day. Like, bro, in Ghost, like there was no good teams outside of yourselves. Like you might have played against.
Here's
see what
another
I'm
reason
saying?
I hate this argument though, and we can talk about like the different developers and the maps going from decent maps to bad maps. But here's something that I will not budge on, bro. We have played the same game since Modern Warfare 19. Since it was figured out by Activision that was the recipe to sell fucking copies. They have not changed the recipe of Call of Duty. So the Dynasty team that we have now with FaZe has literally built the best roster possible, and they're playing the same style of game every year. But if you look at back then, bro, the game changed year to year, bro. We went from fucking boots to jetpacks to boots.
Facts.
Like that is
but the thing is,
massive.
but also
that's a
that,
running to
difference.
but also,
dashing,
hold
to
on.
slide
Outside of that,
They right now they are playing the same game, so it is much easier
hold
to
on.
stay on
Let me
top
finish though.
if you are a top player.
But the thing is though, you've played like for example, your dynasty was within BO2 and Ghost, and I guess Ghost and BO2 are kind of like different. But like the AW Optics dynasty was all through jetpacks, and AW BO3
Yeah, that's what I'm
IW
saying.
were all very similar.
Imagine Optic played 8 years of jetpacks, and I played 8 years of BO2. Like
Do you think there's any title
you would have
this team is
dominated the same
struggling-
way.
any style
maybe.
title this team is struggling in though?
But that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant to the combo. It's the fact that nothing has changed, so it's easier to sustain their dominance because they don't have to change. And it's not been the thing is about the games changing.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not
whether
necessarily
FaZe
true.
get worse. It's
Because on
whether
one side
other
of the
players
coin-
get better.
Oh, I see what
Right
you're
now,
saying. I see
they're
what
not
you're
being
saying.
challenged because they have all the best players in all of their roles. They are
On-
peak. And
on
no
one side of
there's no
co-
new element from another team to just randomly get better.
I-
at.
I-
They-
I
they-
On
think
one
what
side of
they-
the
I
coin,
figure out
though,
the recipe.
finish it.
They're gonna run it, and they
Hold on,
are running.
on one side of the coin though, you say that staying on the same title is like good for the team at the top, which to an extent I agree, but staying on the similar title for every other team is also good because they don't have to learn new shit. They can just keep progressing.
Not if they're not good at it. Not if they're already at their ceiling, and that ceiling is below FaZe.
Yeah,
Like, bro,
I mean, that's
if
also fair
FaZe
enough.
didn't have the fucking Sunday scaries for 3 years straight, they would have had an insane run. But the fact that they just randomly lost full on Sundays, is a stain on their legacy. But otherwise, they would have dominated even more. The fact that they are still
Yeah, I mean,
every
shoulda, coulda,
fucking
woulda.
event a
Bro,
top
the
two,
win
top
condition,
three,
the win
like,
condition for FaZe to not
easier
win
for
events
them.
was themselves and not someone else beating them.
Yeah, bro, these guys should be fucking running the league every year. We've known that since Modern Warfare 19.
context with them is that they've been doing this now in the CDL for 6 years. Obviously, Sip and Abizi won champs for another third. So we'll say 6 and a third. I don't see this team breaking up or retiring anytime soon. Like, I do think they're a dynasty because when this is all said and done, like these guys might be at it as a squad for 9 years. Who the fuck knows?
I
Like,
mean, they're never gonna. The
They're never
closest
gonna
this
break
team
up
will
'cause
ever
there's
get
no-
was last year of breaking up.
There's no
they're-
upgrade
Yeah,
now.
That's the closest
last
they've ever
year was
gonna get.
definitely the closest for sure.
After these two night wins this year, there's not a world where
I
this
also
team is-
Finalize your question. Anyone thinking they're not a dynasty is delusional. They are obviously a dynasty.
Good take. I think I'll say this with Zach, like, because I've been obviously I go to the facility every year. I kind of see how they've been in different team environments with Alec, with Mike and Preston, with Austin, and like all those guys are good in their own right, and they've won events with them. I think Zach was by far and away the best pickup and the perfect player for their team because he is slotted in. He is the engine of this squad, bro. He is what makes the trains on time. He is like the heart and soul of this team emotionally. He gives them that edge. He's a delusional player. If you've ever watched his stream, you kind of know his personality. And I think that combo with obviously the mental work they put into the other stuff. Like outside of Thieves consistently this year, I don't know, bro.
I think the biggest thing
number one
too.
seed again, probably.
The biggest thing
6
too with
years in a row.
Zach too, Ben, is just like his work ethic, bro. Like his passion for the game. Like, bro, Zach plays the game so much. Like he's always live. He's always playing eights. Like he's always getting involved. Like and I'm sure from what I've heard too, he's just a phenomenal teammate. I mean, Sam, you teamed with him, right? I've heard a lot of great things about Zach and what he brings to the table in a practice session. And you'll never not have a productive day with Zach. Right, like you're going into a
I
practice.
retired and vouched for him on FaZe. That's my bad chat.
Yeah.
I
Sam.
think
Thank
the
you,
other
Sam.
thing that
Thank you,
Zach
Sam.
does,
Slowly.
I think the other thing that Zach does, he encourages in meaningful ways players to not just do the team VOD kind of dynamic because you guys have all been on squads, you know that. It's also the individual VOD and that kind of desire in that race for everybody to get better. Like, just a lot of shit that he does that you guys just don't see on stream that I think is kind of turned this team to what it is. And yeah, I mean, I know they kind of bombed out at champs last year, but the reflection they've had since then with the 3 back-to-back fucking events is typical.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Start trying because this shit's boring.
And they're probably
Yeah,
not
you guys
even
don't- I don't know what's up
done.
with
They're
that,
probably not even done yet. I mean, if they go on to just keep winning events, I mean, I think right now you
Bro,
don't have.
I mean, they're
Thieves,
not
if
winning- they're
Thieves
not winning
isn't
out
on
this
the
year,
other
though.
side of the stage, they are winning every time.
I don't know. I mean, FaZe to win out is.
I mean,
Who's going to beat them?
I'm just
If
saying,
Thieves
Pat,
are not
'cause
on the
Pat,
other
you-
side of
you
the
had
stage,
said,
they will
Pat,
not lose.
Pat, you had said that in terms of like dynasties, you think they're the worst dynasty, quote unquote. But later down the line, Pat, could you potentially see them, passing the other dynasties if they just keep running on this success, like if they keep winning?
I mean, like I said, why I'm calling them that is because of their grand finals win rate, and they would have to win a lot to flip that ratio. Like they don't have a good ratio of win loss in grand finals, which is a massive stain on a dominance because they're a different dynasty, right? They're a consistent level dynasty, always getting to the end. But like the thing that puts the difference of how good a dynasty is their ability to finish, and they obviously struggled for a long time. So like I don't think so because there's a big stain that you can't get rid of. But I mean, who knows if they go and fucking win all this events this year and next year, and they go like 3 years straight just fucking insane, maybe. But like overall, their win loss ratio in finals is really gonna hold them back.
Win rate just matters a lot more now because there's just not enough events. So to even have a comparable metric, that's like the only real comparable metric that you can have when like discussing eras. It's win rate. Everything else is kind of out the window.
Yeah, I mean,
But I will say I don't think there will ever be a CDL dynasty that will ever compete with them. Even if there's like a new one or whatever, they've obviously locked up. Like
That's because
the-
they're
Bro,
never
they've been doing
breaking
this
up
for
and they'll always be
Yeah.
a team.
6. The fuck? Like, how often do you see that in esports, let alone fucking sports, other than like Team 1? Faker.
Yeah. Anybody else got any final thoughts about the grand final? I mean, it was obviously. I felt like a lot of people were like, "Dude, what the fuck?" Because Vancouver didn't really.
I was snoozing.
Yeah, it was kind of a snooze. It kind of is what it is, and Atlanta FaZe, they come out and take care of business. I mean, it was easy for
It
them.
happens.
I think
They're a
I think
young
the key
team.
the difference of experience in finals is like 9-day matchup, right? FaZe have been here a gazillion times. We just talked about it. For the Vancouver guys, I mean, Byron was in one last year. Outside of that, the other 3 guys have not made a CDL final, I think, ever, right? So it's just like they don't have that experience on how to get over the adversity, like when it's not going your way off the rip of this matchup, and they just got kind of bowled over.
Yeah.
1-for-1 with the team though is a great start, though. I will say.
Yeah.
They're 1-for-1.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at fantasy, take a look at the playoffs to see kind of what happened here. Before we do, guys, the merch is live. It is limited, so it won't be up there forever. So if you do want to cop the merch, ZooMaa.gg for the merch. It's pinned to the top of the chat, and we'll also throw it in the description down below on the YouTube video. But let's take a look at fantasy here. I'm actually curious to see what happened here at fantasy, because I just, I don't know who won. Oh, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's me.
I don't know who won. Oh,
man,
that's
ladies and gentlemen,
right.
it's me. Oh, man. Guys, I want to thank all my supporters. I want to thank my family. I want to thank everybody on the cast, and of course Breaking Point for throwing an amazing fantasy league. And guys, this one wasn't even fucking close. I could definitely see that I do know ball. And I am a fantasy champion, ladies and gentlemen, and this means a lot to me, man. This means a lot to me.
Looks like there's a missing 3 at the end of your score.
Optic is banned. Optic is banned on fantasy until they're going second, third round now, bro.
And then is there predictions? Did Breaking Point tweet out the predictions?
They skumazed us, bro. I'm
So
not
Sam,
here.
what happened?
calling
Did they
cheese,
actually
bro. I'm
skumaz
on
us?
day 1 cheese.
What
cheesed
happened?
us.
Because how did we go from leading by 10 to then losing? I don't understand that.
Did they get everything right day one?
I'm sure that we will never know. We'll never fucking know.
I think we got Skumaz, bro.
No, they tweet no
I
graphic, and then
I'll say
suddenly
this.
it's within 2. Interesting.
If we legit lost, I costed because I predicted Optic and Thieves throughout this tournament and the stage, and Optic online costed me, and at this tournament picking those two
W
costed me,
accountability, Benjay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I also think we got Skumaz.
Thank you, Benjay.
Yeah, so what do I get for winning?
I'm listen, bro. No one else
10
paid
gifts?
Nub except for me. I'm scamming you. I don't
You're
give a fuck.
scamming me?
I'm scamming you.
What the fuck? I don't get like a ring or nothing?
A ring, $60. Optic.gg, whatever the fuck their website is.
I'm never gonna get a fucking ring, man. It's never gonna
You get a
happen,
big,
bro.
you get a big bear hug next time I see you. That's what
Oh
you get.
God! Oh Jesus! Oh man! All right. Well, listen. Are there matches next week or no?
No, this weekend off. Thank fucking God.
Oh yeah. What's the matter, Ben?
Optic
You need a
4th,
break?
we're back. Falcons first
I'm in the
series.
golf course, Tom. You know what I'm doing. We're gonna go enjoy the outdoors. Spring is here.
Absolutely.
The vibes are high.
Absolutely. Listen, again, I want to shout out to Optic for hosting a great event. It was a great tournament. It was awesome seeing all the boys play on LAN, all the teams, all the organizations. Nothing better than LAN, huh, guys? Feel like LAN is the best shit. We will be going back to online, so throughout the week we'll be dropping some more episodes. I'm sure there'll be a lot of roster. You guys expect roster mania, right? There has to be. I mean, there's got to be roster mania going on.
So, bro.
I think
If there
you'll
were not
see
4
minimum-
organizations with clipboards and pens in that challengers pit this weekend, I'm fucking boycotting.
I definitely saw some people there last night. That's all I'll say. But
I better see some free agent tweets tonight. No bullshit.
I think there'll be at least 3 teams that make a change. Realistically, you could go as high as 6. And then we'll know
Which
more
means
probably
there will
next
be
like
2.
48, 72. So, do you guys want to do should we plan to do like a roster mania or like tier list show? Maybe at the end of
Yeah,
the
I'm
week
down.
if there's info.
I mean, it just
Yeah.
depends on how fast these orgs move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure what's going on. Look at TJ's
I'm sure that
tweet.
bar tonight's gonna be bumpy.
Hey, TJ's tweet the simp. This fuckery won't go on much longer. TJ's comedy for that. Yeah, Ben, you got to get some eyes over at the bar, man. See what's going on. You know people are going to be shit talking their teammates at the bar. They always do.
Oh yeah, Benjay, you got to get eyes on the ground, baby.
I'll report.
Eyes on the ground, Benjay.
Listen,
after
Doug,
party,
Yeah,
know?
Ben, you might need to wear a wire, bro. No bullshit.
pull a Doug and wear a wire, bro.
I wouldn't do the Doug, bro. I'm not gonna,
Doug.
So you're not
Not
wearing a
that.
wire? You're not wearing a wire,
Nah.
bro?
Nah.
All right, bro.
That's Fugazi, Tom. That's fucking Fugazi.
I'm just joking. I don't actually want you to wear a wire. All right. Anybody else got anything to say in the weekend about the major, the tournament, anything at all? The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Did you
Fuck
guys
these
like the
phase
one-
cats. Phase down, bro. I'm
There's
bored.
no honor among the thieves. There is no honor among the thieves. And it wasn't boring.
Of
Sam's
course,
just
there's
mad.
no honor. We got fucking
If-
4th.
if
Ernie
Sam-
doesn't
if-
try when it matters, bro. Do we see how these guys are
what the-
calling
If
out?
Sam's
Fuck.
team was in the grand finals, he wouldn't be saying it was boring.
We're
He wouldn't
losing
be
to
saying.
Boston, bro. Fuck.
What do you guys like about the
Nah, it was
130
kind of
start
boring.
time?
It was definitely boring. I'd just be coping. It was kind of boring. But hey, what'd you say, Ben?
What do you guys think about the 130 East start time for events? I don't know if
W
we've talked
start
about
time.
too much on
It's
the
no
show.
early.
Yeah,
bro.
bro,
start
it
time.
was early for me, bro. It was
W
early.
start time.
And I got the puppy. I'm not sleeping right now, and I'm on the West Coast, so it's earlier for me. Man, it's been rough, but we making it work. We're making it work over here. But it's been good. I feel like it's better to start earlier because the day doesn't drag out to midnight. Sometimes we're leaving the venue at fucking midnight.
Wait. I will say it. I saw challengers were playing at 2, 3 a.m., bro.
Yeah,
That's
we were
old
talking about it.
school.
What's 04's Twitter?
I didn't hear us talk about that.
Is it like 04
is
or something?
back. 04 is back, I think.
We got a Omit
04 is
Rafi
back.
tweet. He said, "Well, that's quick," and it's a picture of a monkey on a phone. So you
Yeah,
gotta
it's
think.
04 is back.
Yeah,
Who said that? Who tweeted what?
Rafi.
Rafi. Yo, that guy is the ringleader, bro. No bullshit.
You're really good.
Rafi, his conversion rate might be Tommy's. Him and Tom
is he
might.
selling them?
Generational
Is he
challengers.
selling them or? Is
I hope so.
Nah, I
He's
don't think
farming
he is.
them down there.
Is he selling them? I don't know.
I fucking hope so for his fucking bank account.
Yeah, I was
Well, Tom,
honestly
go,
have no
go
idea.
look at 04's replies. 'cause
Rafi's
you
conversion
replied-
rate
you
might be
replied to Zach's
100%.
tweet, too.
04 did?
Yeah, go look at Zach's replies. You'll see that, or 04's replies. You'll see that he replied to Zach.
Let me see what's going on. That's a comedy. So Draza tweeted not a map, and an 04 said piece of shit. That's crazy. It's actually hilarious. I love 04, bro. He really showed out this week, and he's making a name for himself, bro. He really is a great player. He's been playing really good, and I think he's better on land. To be honest with you, I think
He
the way
literally is better on land.
it's just his play style, like the way that he plays, just fit. Like his play style is just better for land.
You
He was
gotta
ass
remember-
online and he costed me fantasy.
You gotta remember, this is a very similar thing to like Joe Deceives, bro. He didn't come in with like years of challengers experience, and especially in his end, like he wasn't really playing that much variant at all. So like, it's been a real time learning experience the last 18 months that's really paying off.
Okay,
People just
so-
can't try
I
if you
realize
can't see your opposition across.
Okay,
the
wait.
field.
So if Omid Rafi's tweeting this out, I mean, who? Because he has multiple teams, doesn't he?
Here's what I think.
Like,
I
who's getting
think-
picked up? Who's getting picked up here?
If my boy
I-
O John is not on a team,
Yeah.
I will be flabbergasted.
Gotta drop 50.
Brother, Johnny
think
was
LA
50
bro,
in a final?
bro. Johnny
here's-
was fucking. Cooking,
He went
bro.
he went
Johnny
he
was
went
cooking,
50
bro.
he went 50 and 19 in a hard point that ended 250 to like 130.
It's
It's
insane. Dude, it was
It's
actually
insane.
crazy. I
Then they
tuned
choked
in.
He was telling his teammates to get off hill and shit.
Brother, I tuned in for like 45 seconds in between games. I just saw him pop like 3 fucking 3 pieces. I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? He was like 30-8, and nobody on his team had more than like 17. Like, dude, what is happening right now?
Well, then they got 5-2 comeback on map 2, but they still won the series. I would say LAG and Falcons could potentially make multiple roster changes, so that might cause some interesting stuff going on in roster.
I'm not
mania
going
this week.
Falcons unless
I think
Falcons
Falcons
is
are
building
out.
an all NA
Yeah.
roster like and you get a call from them, you are not joining. You got to ask them, yo, you hit me up, yo, what's the team, bro? If I see fucking
I mean, if they build around Xnet, it's not too bad. I think Xnet did make
okay, maybe him. That everyone
Yeah.
else out the door.
I mean,
got
bro,
to hang
you
out with
can't
Xnet
join
this-
that
this
team.
week.
There's a language barrier.
No, Xnet speaks English.
Oh, does he?
I was saying, yeah, I was speaking with him. In,
He speaks
this weekend.
COD English. He's chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference for sure, right? There's a difference between
You don't got to be
English-
fluent, bro. You got to know how to call out truck.
You just need to be,
Yeah,
be able to
Paco was in the
learn how to
league,
call
and
out.
He barely knew English year one, so I mean, he'll get there. But Xnet was pretty cool. I was hanging out with him with Asim last night.
Yeah, but any other final thoughts, guys? Any other final thoughts before we head out?
No, it was an absolute pleasure, Tom. Thank you for hosting the shows this weekend. It was
Yeah,
it was a fun
hey.
tournament. Maybe not the most exciting matches, but I
Yeah,
hope you guys
of
enjoyed
course.
the coverage, man.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you,
to
Zooma,
thank
for
you to
hosting all the shows.
You're welcome, Sam. Absolutely. Thank
you,
you.
Zooma.
Thank you to all you guys as well, and huge thank you to all the supporters, bro. Everybody in the chat. The watch parties were crazy today. I think we peaked at like 22,000 concurrent viewers at one point during the first
fucking
phase
rough.
match in the winners final. Viewership went down in the grand final. I'll be honest. I think people.
Yo,
got
I
bored.
had league match viewership. In
Yeah, I think people got bored. No bullshit. I was kind of coping, roasting, bantering with the chat, but it was kind of boring. I mean, it was a quick 4-0. It wasn't even close. But yeah, it was an awesome weekend, bro. And the amount of love in the watch parties, the shows, you guys have been incredible. Like I say all the time, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all. I mean, everything rides on you guys, the community, and I appreciate you guys showing love as always, man. Just thank you guys so much for all the support. And you guys know we'll be back, bro. I mean, I'm expecting a lot of roster changes. I'm expecting a lot to happen these next few weeks. We'll probably even do a tier list episode. So, we'll be running more shows for sure. Huge shout out to all the guests that came on this weekend as well, whether it was Donnie
Wait, Tommy,
or
we have a
Cap
breaking news tweet. Sorry to cut you
Oh,
off.
no, what happened, Benjay?
We have a Vinny Gage tweet. Nobody
Oh.
deserves this more than Brother Standy. He's back.
Yeah, my
Take
cousin
care.
Vinny.
Brush your hair.
My
Sorry,
cousin Vinny
bro.
loves Eli. He loves Standy. He loves him.
But maybe Eli's getting picked up, Tom. You got to think.
Maybe. Who knows? I mean, he did win in Challengers, so we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna say any names because people start saying I'm throwing pop. And Courage, oh, he's so good.
Oh,
He's so good
shit.
and so
Oh,
tough.
shit.
Don't
He's-
start this shit now, bro.
And Courage is
Oh,
so
shit.
good and so tough, but Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, go to anchor.fm/theflank. Check out audio. They say Sarango at the flank on Twitter. Guys doing a phenomenal job running socials per usual. Join the community, guys. It's spotlighted to the top of the flank, top of my Twitter. So make sure to check it out. And of course, guys, we have a limited merch drop out now. ZooMaa.gg. That's Zooma with 2 A's.gg. Make sure to check it out before it's too late. And yes, guys, thank you so much. I love every single one of you. Take care. Brush your hair. We'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank, man. Take it easy. Absolutely.
And what Ben doesn't know is the ZooMafia are sheep.
Shit. Wait, why did Ben just play the horns? I'm confused. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Salam.
Later, bros.
Peace.
Later.
Ciao, ciao.